How's it going, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So, it's the end of the weekend. We've had some amazing rugby played, and we've had emotions go high and low, some spectacular performances, but now it's time to choose my team of the week. I want to hear what you guys think. I want to hear what your team of the week is, and who was your favorite player of the weekend. Right, so first of all, let's get cracking. Number one for me was Gross. The guy, he played absolutely phenomenal. He was a constant threat to Italy, and he was just one of those players that was just always there. He was hitting hard, and he's just a scary human being. I mean, honestly, I didn't see Gross keeping that number one spot. I thought once Cyril Baye was fully fit, ready to go, he would end up coming, taking his spot back. Gross had other ideas, and he looks like he's solidified this position as his own. So that's very, very nice to see. And the guy's an absolute monster. So we go into number two, Malvaka. I don't think there's any words need to be said. I don't think there's many people that would say Malvaka does not deserve that hooker spot in Team of the Week. Yes, there has been some all right performances, but the performance that Malvaka put up against Italy was just next level. He was running, he was carrying, he was doing everything you possibly could want. And this is the thing about Malvaka. He's not just a forward. The guy could be a bloody, he can play anywhere along that forward line and do it so well. He's got so much strength, pace, his feet are so quick. He's so agile. And he showed that up against Italy. And Italy really, really struggled to handle him just in general. So he gets a number two spot. Number three for me was Will Stewart. The guy, he played his absolute socks off, from set piece plays to his heavy tackling, his positioning. The guy was just phenomenal. And this is what you want in a forward. And honestly, this is one of those, one of these performances that he put in that is basically saying to Andy Farrell, pick me, I'm ready, and honestly, Andy Farrell would be stupid to overlook Will Stewart right now. The guy is playing in such phenomenal form. He is so, so good. And if he continues like this, he's practically giving himself a slot or a seat on that aeroplane, but also a position as a lion. So yeah, he needs to keep performing like this. He's got so much to give. He's still got a lot to improve. And yeah, if he continues, I can definitely see a lion future ahead of him. Then we move into Moro Itoje at number four. Now, I don't know what's happened. Obviously, we've seen a lot of progress come from the Autumn Nations into now. We've seen Maro Itoje come in as captain. He's a relatively new captain to the Saracens as well, and he's really making a name for himself. I don't know what he's doing. Whatever he's doing, he needs to continue doing it, because he's putting in some key performances. The guy, he's just absolutely brilliant, especially at the breakdown. You watch the game, you watch how quick he is. He's got such a good head on him, and he knows when to go and he knows when to go out. The biggest issue that Maro Itoje has is he has a very lovely ability to get on the wrong side of referees and get those yellow and red cards. But as it seems, he's keeping himself in check. He's being more level-headed. You know, this is the kind of Maro Itoje that we want to be seeing. This is the kind of captain we want to be seeing for England. And since Maro Itoje has been made captain, we've seen a big performance. We've seen a lot of turnaround, and we've seen a lot more passion and a lot more grit and fight out of these players, especially come the second half. So whatever you're doing, Maro, please keep doing it for everyone. They're not the finished product, but they're on their way up. Then Joe McCarthy coming back from injury. Honestly, I wasn't expecting him to come in with such a bloody performance. Yes, it was Wales, but if you watch the game, that did not look like the Wales side that lost so heavily to France, that lost to Italy. That was not a toothless Wales. That was a possessed Wales that nobody saw coming. Like, yes, there was a thing of being resurgent, getting a new manager, our coach, Matt Sherritt. He's obviously brought in Max Llewellyn, Anscombe, he's changed things up. You have a player like Falatau come in. There is a lot that changed, but you look at the performances that were on show. You look at Jack Morgan, the shift that he put in is just phenomenal. And honestly, Wales had Ireland double guessing and thinking, shit, what is happening here? Right? Because this is the Wales that you want to be seeing. This is a Wales that would give France troubles. This is a Wales that can beat Italy, not before, right? So we're seeing a big improvement. Hopefully, they can continue this way for the next couple of games. And it's going to be interesting to see how Wales continue to work under Matt Sherritt, because if Matt Sherritt is able to get this out of them in 10 days, 11 days, I can't wait to see what happens after a couple weeks, couple months, you know. So, and I, if he's able to continue with this, I wouldn't be upset to see him take over full time. So, let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section below. If you think Matt Sherritt will have a long lasting effect on Wales, and why do you think there was such a big change? There was a giant change for Wales from pre-Gatland, well, from Gatland to post-Gatland. So let me know what your thoughts in the comment section below. Then we move into the six. Now, for me, this was a no-brainer. Richie, he took the game. He made England pay. He was everywhere. He practically did the jobs for everyone with the key tackles, key runs. Like the guy, he was bloody everywhere. At points, you're just wondering, and the commentators saying, "Oh, it's Richie. Oh, it's Richie. Oh, it's Richie. Oh, it's Richie." You're like, how is this guy up and down the bloody pitch so much? The guy, he was an absolute engine. And honestly, in a Scotland squad that did not perform, he performed. And he's on the likes of, like Van der Merwe, who played absolutely brilliantly. But, you know, it is what it is. Stupid decisions that come back to haunt you, which ultimately they did come back to haunt them. And yeah, Richie was just a monster, absolute monster. So tell me, if you if you guys if you guys have another alternative to Richie, I want to know who it is. Who played better than Richie last weekend? Like genuinely, like especially considering the opponent. Let me know what your thoughts in the comment section below. Then seven, I have Ben Earl. So Ben Earl, again, he's on that similar lines of Richie. He was just so prominent with, his tackles, that pressure that he put on. The guy, he just played so well. He was just so consistent. And this is the thing that you want to find in a player. You don't necessarily want a player that's going to give you a 9 out of 10 performance, and then next week he's going to give you a 5 out of 10 performance, and then you're going to have another 8, and then he's going to have a 3. And, Ben Earl, he brings in consistency. When he plays, he's going to give you a bloody good game. He's kind of like Curry, but he's going to give you that solid performance. He's going to be a rock. He doesn't make too many mistakes. And yeah, watch the game. Watch how he played. The guy was phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. And then going into my number 8. So I have Falatau, right? Falatau for me was the old school Falatau. This is the Falatau pre-injuries. The guy, he was just there and everywhere. And I don't want to say he put a bit of fear into Ireland, because Ireland are top dogs, But what he did do is he made them second guess. And that's not an easy thing to do up against Ireland. He put that pressure on them like there's no bloody tomorrow. And whenever he got on the ball, I always felt like something was going to happen. You know, he's that kind of player that when he gets on the ball, you just feel that things are going to go. You know, he's going to make something happen. There's going to be plays made. And that's how I felt with Faletau. And Matt Sherritt is obviously doing something right. And if he can continue like this and bring the best out of Faletau, that's going to be brilliant. You know, this is exactly what Wales need. He's very experienced. I think he's got like between like 120, 130 caps, maybe even a bit more. Um, the guy, he's just so experienced. He's a true leader, and then bringing out some of his best form as well. That will only go to strengthen Wales and really be that rock that they need to get out of this rut. You know, not winning a game in over 500 days. That's a ridiculous stat. So yeah, Faletau, he gets there. My number 9 is Dupont. Dupont, there is no words for that man. He is just, what can you do when you have performances like this? He had a hand in everything, from his runs to his passes to his grubbers to his try assists, his tries. There was literally nothing on that pitch that he did not do. He gave everything, and that has to quieten some of his doubters down, because there are people still that are saying he's not worth the salt. He's not worth anything. He's so overrated. Look at this game. And then they're going to say, oh, it was up against Italy. It's not up against a top team. Italy is a damn top team. And he made them look like fools. He makes the whole world look like fools. But you look at that performance from what he was doing. He was here, there, everywhere. His passes were brilliant. His layups were brilliant. His ability to drag in players was brilliant. His carrying was brilliant. His kicking, his punting, his bloody everything from him was on par with some of the best in the world. And not only that, he played in multiple different positions as well. What are you going to say? Oh, you know, you can't hack it. Watch the bloody game, and you'll see a master at work there. A lot of people have their bias towards their own teams, towards their own players, because they feel this player and that player and blah, 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 blah. Antoine Dupont is the real deal. He is the real deal. Watch him. And you can take him statistically as well. Watch him play. And you'll see a true master at work. So yeah, Dupont, he's number 9 all the way. No one takes that position out of Dupont other than him. 10, Ramos. Now, Ramos, obviously, he's coming in from 15 into 10. That's going to be an interesting play. Obviously, I felt he played absolutely brilliantly. He got like 8 conversions. France scored 11 tries or something stupid like that. 8 conversions. What more could you bloody want from a kicker? His points tally is absolutely ridiculous. It's through the roof. So yeah, there was a couple other players. Some saying, "Oh, Finn Smith," and so on. But yeah, Finn Smith, he had a pretty good game. But pure performance, how he brought others into the game, I'm choosing Ramos. But this is also going to be a headache for Galtier, because Intermac is coming back. So what's going to happen with Intermac coming back, with Leo Barret putting in absolutely stellar performance that he did up against Italy? You're going to put Ramos back at 15, Intermac at 10, Dupont at 9, and then leave Barret out on the replacements. I mean, France, they played a 7-1 split. Luku was the only back in the replacements. So I don't know. It's a headache. It's a nice headache to have, though, when you're having players playing at the best of their bloody ability, and playing well. Really killing it at such a young age as well. Because you got to think, I think Leo Barret is like, what, 21, 22 years old? And looking at the bloody performances that he put in, ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Um, and then 11. Now, this was a very difficult position for me because we had BLBRA with, I think it was like 3 assists, 1 try. His offloading was brilliant. His passing, because I think he set up at the Sogbe's try. Um, his passing was on par. He was on the left, he was on the right, he was everywhere where he needed to be. He was causing problems. He was he was chasing down balls. He was putting people under pressure. He had an absolutely stellar game. But Van der Merwe, his ability to just cause havoc, being so strong and being the bloody Greek Adonis that he is. Well, he's Dutch, but the guy looks like a Greek god. Um, he just caused havoc constantly, and even in a game that Scotland lost, he still got man of the match. Yes, he didn't want to accept it for shit because he was, peed off beyond all belief, as you would expect him to be. But so yeah, personally, and this is my personal preference because I had to pick somebody because I couldn't decide between Van der Merwe and BLBRA. I am going with BLBRA purely because he got 3 assists. He managed to get a try on the books. His performance in terms of just his all-round ability through the game, how he affected the game as a whole. And yes, Italy is a completely different team to Scotland, to England. They're not as strong, but his performance, his individual performance, gets him that slight edge over Van der Merwe, even though Van der Merwe's performance was bloody like off the charts, off the bloody charts. So guys might give me a bit of stick for that, but that's just my personal opinion on that one. 14, I have Atisogbe. Atisogbe played his socks off again. I mean, you look at the age. BLBRA is 21. Atisogbe is 20. He just recently turned 20 or something like that. Leo Barre is 22 years old. These back three are just so young, and look at how effective they are. Look at how deadly they are. They are potent. And like I say, this is a very good headache for Galtier to have. But yeah, at Sogbe, he was closing down players. He was putting pressure, like heavy pressure on players. He was chasing the balls. He was making crucial tackles, taking people out. You know, everything that you want in a winger, everything that you could possibly want as a team player, he was there. He was providing as much as he possibly could. And not only that, he is rapid. So at any point, it really put Italy under a lot of pressure because they couldn't do anything. You would see Dupont, you would see Ramos, they would be kicking the ball. Next thing you know, Atisogbe is there chasing it down, right? You try to clear space, you try to alleviate pressure, and next thing you know, you got Atisogbe back on your backside. So absolutely stellar performance. And then my centers. So I have Mofana, who his ball carrying ability is just ridiculous. Easily one of the most scary centers in the world. The only reason I'm giving this over Bundyaki is because Bundyaki, he came on at the second half, so we didn't really get to see a full performance from him. Where we got to see quite a lot from Mofana. And Bundy Aki's performance when he came on was just ridiculous. I mean, what it was in the first couple of minutes, it looked like he broke his nose, got himself a black eye. He was bloody everywhere. He looked like he just came out of a horror movie. Coming off the bench. So, and this is Bundy Aki. He's one of my most favorite players in the world, and it's not always necessarily about his playing ability because it's endless. He's one of the best centers in the world, if not the best center in the world, or at least number 12. Um, it's that sheer joy for the game. Because even when he can break his nose, you'll see him smiling, getting pumped, and ready to go back in, because that's him, right? You saw him so happy. He was so full of joy after he destroyed his nose and had blood everywhere. It really does feel like Bundyaki is not playing his best rugby until he's bleeding. He either has a gash in the side of his head that's just like squirting out blood, or his nose is broken, black eyes. He's got a cut across his little cheek. So we got to see a lot more of Mofana through the entire game, whereas Bandiaki only came on and he put in a stellar performance as well. But it's because we only got to see Bandiaki come later on in the game. But Mofana, I feel he had a very complete performance, so that's why he's there. My number 13, I got Hugh Jones, another player that is easily one of the best centers, at least 13s in the world. The guy, he's so clever. His ball running ability, again, he's so quick off of his feet. He can evade players like there's no tomorrow. He's not afraid to get stuck in with the tackles as well. He kept wanting Scotland to try and play as fluid as possible, but you know, things happen. Things happen. And Hugh Jones, he tried his absolute best to keep Scotland up there, but unfortunately it wasn't their day, and things happen. So yeah, Hugh Jones at 13. And then 15, I have Leo Barret. 22 years old, guys. Struggles to get on because you got an absolute monster in Thomas Ramos at 15. But what happens when Thomas Ramos gets moved over into that 10 role? Leo Barret, he comes in and he's like, you know what? I'm going to put a performance out here. I'm going to make sure that I'm being looked at. So you know what? I'm going to go and I'm going to score 2 tries. I am going to kick like there's no bloody tomorrow. I am going to control the game, and I'm going to have this perfect like symbiosis with number 10, with Ramos. And they just played such beautiful rugby together. Dupont, Ramos, Leo Barret, Mofana, and uh, I forgot his name, but just that that back line was just so sublime of France. It was like they just played like a completely different squad. It was literally men versus toddlers out there. Yes, Italy, they did pretty well for the first 15 minutes, and then what happened? Yeah. So that's my that's my 15. Let me know what you guys think. There are a couple of players that, deserve a mention and potentially deserve to be in the squad. It's just, this is my personal opinion on who I would choose as a 15. But I want to know what you guys think, and I want to know who your 15 was. Right? Personally, my player of the weekend was Dupont. The guy was just absolutely, absolutely phenomenal throughout the park. No matter what you wanted, defensively, offensively, his game was as complete for a scrum half as you could possibly want. There is nothing more that you could have asked a player to perform and to perform at the best of his ability than what Dupont did up against Italy. So let me know what your thoughts in the comment section below. I want to know what you guys think. And as always, please like and subscribe, as it really does help my channel grow. And catch you guys in the next one. Bye.